All right, everybody, welcome in to the College Court Report podcast. It is President's Day for those in America and the United States. Up here in Canada, it is Family Day. So wherever you are, happy President's Day, happy Family Day, happy Monday, if you will. That encompasses it all. I'm your host, Tyler Bennett. It's been a couple weeks since we've been on. It's been a bit of a transition time period, if you would. Myself just moved for the second time in about a month and a half. So I'm now in a new city, got everything set up. So we're good to go on that front. I've had a couple team members here at CCR that have moved on to new ventures. So I wish them the best. That has led us to where we are today. And ultimately now it seems like it's a one-man show for the most part, myself. So with that, I have decided to make some changes as well. We're going to do daily podcasts now, Monday through Friday, with myself, and then I'll get some guests on during the week as well to kind of gear up for the postseason, which starts a little over a week. Conference tournaments, then you got the NCAA tournament starting mid-March as well. So it's really an exciting time in the college basketball world, and there are a lot of conference races that are really shaping up to be fun, like really exciting, right down to the wire. So with these daily podcasts, hopefully we can add to that excitement and, like I said, get some intriguing guests on as well and really take a look at everything across the college basketball landscape and really gear up for the postseason and then into the offseason as well, keep that going, and then start looking at next year and so on and so forth. Today, going to be a quick one, about 30 minutes or so. We're going to look at Middle Tennessee. The Blue Raiders cracked the top 25 rankings for the first time this season. Second straight year they cracked the USA Today coaches poll, but they also broke into the AP top 25 for the first time in program history this afternoon. We will touch on that. I'll let you know where they fell, where they slotted in this week, a little bit on that team through this year. We're going to take a look at Monday's holiday slate. Not a whole lot going on, but there are a few games that really stand out from the rest. So we're going to look at about 5 of those games just in brief. And then finally, going to give a rundown on something we've done here for what's going on now, the 4th season. We operate fan-voted Player of the Year and fan-voted Freshman of the Year awards that run similar to our mascot mayhem contest that we do in the preseason. So I've selected the players and the freshmen for both of those brackets. The pairings have been made. The bracket has been completed for both awards. So we're going to talk about that briefly as well to wrap things up and get this out before Monday's games tip off. So thank you again for tuning in on your holiday Monday. Hope you are enjoying it wherever you are. And let's get right into it. All right, so Middle Tennessee, the Blue Raiders have been at the top or near the top of the Conference USA standings for the last few years. And Kermit Davis, head coach, has done a remarkable job with this program, especially this season. In their last time out, he reached a personal milestone, 400 career wins. So congratulations to Kermit on that. But the Blue Raiders themselves, they have 12 true road wins this season. That's incredible. They're 22-5, and 12 of those wins have come on the road. Incredible. 14-1 in Conference USA play. Their one loss came to Marshall on the road by 10. Since then, they've won 9 straight games to cement themselves as the team to beat in the Conference USA, if that wasn't already defined. And you look back 2 years ago in the NCAA tournament, Middle Tennessee was a 15 seed, and they pulled off arguably the biggest upset in NCAA tournament history when they beat number 2 Michigan State 90-81. And I don't think they trailed once in that game. So you can see that the damage that this team can do when they get into a single elimination tournament like the NCAA's. And at 22-5, 14-1, the clear favorite to win the Conference USA is Middle Tennessee. 4 of their 5 losses this year have been by 6 points or less. 6 points or less. And that includes losses to Auburn, which was 6. USC by 5. 15th ranked Miami at the time on Christmas Day by 3. This is a team that has wins on the road over Murray State, Tennessee State, Vanderbilt. They have a home win over Ole Miss, and they also completed a home-and-home sweep of Dunk City, Florida Gulf Coast, who won the regular season Atlantic Sun title. So you may think that, okay, Middle Tennessee, Conference USA, some good teams, some bad teams. You might look at their record on first glance and not look deeper and say, okay, they're 22-5, 14-1. Who have they really played? They've played quality teams from the start of the season. And with 4 of their losses by 6 points or less, this team is the real deal. And the voters in the Associated Press poll finally realized that. And Middle Tennessee is ranked inside the top 25 for the first time in their history. They come in this week at number 24. They are the 24th ranked team in the country, and that is in both the AP poll and the USA Today poll. So shout out to the Raiders, the Blue Raiders, for putting the rest of the nation on notice for what they're capable of doing on the hardwood. Like I said, 9 straight wins. They've reeled off those 9 straight wins after their loss to Marshall as well. So they haven't lost in over a month. January 18th is when they lost to Marshall. They haven't lost since. They've got 3 games left in the regular season. All of them are at home. UAB, Western Kentucky, and Marshall. It's a tough trio of games. All 3 teams are very talented, but they get the benefit of playing them all on their home floor. They've beaten the Blazers on the road by 3. They beat the Hilltoppers on the road by 4. And you factor in that they're going back home now, they should realistically finish the regular season 17-1 in conference play. A big reason for their success this season has been the addition of 6'7" forward Nick King. And King has made headlines over his career for bouncing around schools. Middle Tennessee is his 3rd school in 4 years. Played 2 at Memphis to start his career, transferred, played 1 at Alabama, transferred, and is now with Middle Tennessee. He's found the right situation for him. He's found a place where he can play, be successful, have an impact on the game on both ends of the floor, and he anchors that front court. Team high 21.4 points, team high 8.4 rebounds. He's averaging just shy of 2 assists a game, and is shooting just shy of 50% from the floor, 49.4. He's got 10 double-doubles. He has been a consistent force up front for Kermit Davis and the Blue Raiders. He's got to be front runner for Conference USA Player of the Year. I don't think there's any question in my mind of who should win it outside of King. But that's just me. He's played the part since he came on campus, since he's become a Blue Raider. He's bought into the system. He's really helped carry this team on this run that they're in. It's remarkable. Then you also factor in they've got senior guard Giddy Potts, who shot above 50% from three just as a sophomore. His numbers have dipped this year a little bit, even from last year. He's down to 13 points, 4.2 rebounds, just shy of 2 assists. But he doesn't need to score anymore. He doesn't need to be the do-everything guard on the back end with a guy like King up front. And people are going to say, oh, they had Reggie Upshaw and whatnot up front before him. That's true. But they've also got now Tyreek Dixon, younger guard, who doesn't produce a whole lot, but he's able to kind of take a bit away from Giddy Potts and really help out in that aspect. You add in Brandon Walters and Antoine Johnson, David Simmons, Carl Gamble. They have a balanced roster. They have 6 guys that are averaging at least 5 points a game and are playing at least 18 minutes. They've got the depth. They've got the balance. They've got different guys who can step up. They've got 3 double-digit scorers with King, Potts, and Johnson. Tyreek Dixon, like I just mentioned, averaging a team-high 3.3 assists to only 1.3 turnovers. That's a 2.6 assist to turnover ratio. That's pretty darn good. So if you get this team in the NCAA tournament, if you see Middle Tennessee on the opposite side of you in the first round of the tournament, all you're going to have to do is look back to 2016 when they beat Michigan State and realize just what this team can do to you. It's incredible. They are not to be slept on. And I think with this top 25 ranking, it'll really put the rest of the country on notice as to what this team can do. And what they have been doing all season long is competing night in and night out. And they'll play you the full 40 minutes. Win or lose. They'll fight right to the end. So shout out to Middle Tennessee for earning that first ever AP poll ranking, coming at number 24. Keep on rising. Pick up a win over UAB on Saturday. Continue that streak. And keep putting the nation on notice. Just keep doing it. Their next game's on Saturday. That's 5 days away. Looking at Monday's slate, you got a handful of games. It's a Monday. Mondays, historically through the year, aren't very busy. And just kind of scrolling through the schedule briefly, 5 games really stuck out. You've got an ACC game between Miami and Notre Dame in South Bend. The Irish 16-11, overall 6-8. They are on the outside looking in on the tournament. They're hoping to continue their own recent stretch of strong play and keep winning games and go deep into the ACC tournament to maybe get back on that bubble and have a shot at a spot on Selection Sunday. I think if they can win out, counting tonight, they've got 4 games left. If they can win out and make a deep enough run in the tournament, like I'm thinking maybe semifinals of the ACC tournament. Might be a little much to ask, but if they can go 4-0 or at the very least 3-1 the rest of the way through ACC regular season. So they've got Miami tonight. They've got Wake Forest on Saturday. Pitt at home. and then they go on the road at Virginia to close the year out. Those first 3 games, Miami, Wake Forest, and Pitt, they're all winnable games. In fact, Notre Dame should win all those games. They should be 19-11 when they meet Virginia in the regular season finale. If they go 3-1, that puts them at 9-9. That puts them right in the middle of the pack in the ACC standings. They're going to have to pull off a couple of upsets to make that deep run. It's inevitable. But with Matt Farrell leading the way, you can't really rule them out. And with Mike Bray at the helm, anything is possible. Last game out for the Irish against Boston College, Matt Farrell hit 10 threes, which is a school record. Put up 37 points. He's been playing out of his mind lately since he came back healthy. He needs to keep that up to kind of carry that team, especially without Bonzi Colson. And you need guys like TJ Gibbs and Gebbin and even John Mooney, who's had shown flashes in the last few games. A 3-1 finish, I think, is the realistic approach for Notre Dame the rest of the way. 4-0 is obviously the best solution, but you have to think 3-1 puts you at 9-9. You're 19-12. You've got a chance to make a run. Time will tell, but keep an eye on that one tonight. Both teams are looking for a win, Miami and Notre Dame. Notre Dame's at home, so give the edge to the Fighting Irish. Let's see how it goes. See how it plays out. A little mid-major action, or small school action. I don't like the term mid-major. Bethune-Cookman, 9-3 in the MEAC, on the road at Morgan State. Preseason favorites are just 6-6. You got guards Brandon Tabb and Isaiah Bailey. Going to look to try and contain Tywan Kendley of the Bears in some capacity. The guy puts up points in bunches. So the Wildcats will have their hands full. But when Brandon Tabb gets hot from 3, he put up 34 points last time, which is a career high as well. When he gets hot, he can match Kendley point for point. And then up front, you have the matchup of Chantrez Davis and Philip Carr. Intriguing matchups on both sides. Bethune-Cookman's looking for a win to kind of keep pace with Savannah State, who we'll touch on briefly after this game. The Tigers are tops in the conference. Bethune-Cookman comes into the day tied for second with North Carolina A&T. A win for Bethune-Cookman over a team like Morgan State, who, like I said, were preseason favorites in the conference. That would do wonders for their confidence going into the conference tournament in Norfolk, Virginia, and really validate the fact that this team is for real. This team can contend and can win big games against talented teams. And remember, we've touched on this a few weeks ago. The Wildcats were ranked or projected to finish 9th in the conference. North Carolina A&T was projected to finish dead last and 13th. They're both tied for second. Both have big games tonight. North Carolina A&T takes on Maryland Eastern Shore. Aggies should roll in that game. So realistically, both teams will go 10-3. Like I said, trying to keep pace with Savannah State, who have a tough game on their own on the road against Hampton. The Tigers are 10-2. are a game up on the Wildcats and Aggies. Game and a half up on the Pirates. Savannah State, Dexter McClanahan, Hampton's Jermaine Marrow, two of the best guards in the conference. Savannah State likes to play quick. They like to run. They like to get in transition, get up quick shots. They can put up points like they're going out of style. This team can score. But when they play quick, their defense is like a sieve sometimes. Because what they score, the other team can match. Luckily, they have the offensive firepower to outscore more teams, especially in conference play. But you can only skirt that edge of danger so many times before you get burned. And a team like Hampton, with a guard like Jermaine Marrow, who is having himself an incredible sophomore year, 20 points, 5.5 assists, just shy of 5 rebounds. Having a guy like him on the other side against a team who likes to play quick and free might not be a good recipe for success. So we could have a 3-way tie atop the MEAC at the end of the night with teams at 10-3. Hampton comes into the night as 5-point favorites against the Tigers. But you never really know how this is going to go, so that's why games are played. That one's going to be a good one. All eyes are going to be on Lawrence, Kansas tonight. Oklahoma is in town to take on the 8th-ranked Kansas Jayhawks. Trae Young, who has really struggled as of late with his shooting. That's all everybody talks about, the struggles of his shooting and the comparisons between Trae Young and Steph Curry. I'm sick of it. Let the kid play basketball. Let him do his thing. You don't have to show comparisons for Young and Curry on every ESPN broadcast, even when Oklahoma's not even playing. It's ridiculous. He's a freshman. He came out of the gate real strong this year. You knew he was going to falter at some point. And here we are. Oklahoma's window of opportunity for an NCAA tournament spot is shrinking by the day. And at 16-10, 6-8 in Big 12, a loss to Kansas, mind you, it's on the road. But you have to think a loss to Kansas puts them at 16-11, 6-9 in conference play. This team almost has to make the finals now of the Big 12 tournament and lose, but win out the regular season and win their way to the finals. If that doesn't happen, it's the NIT for Oklahoma. It's the NIT for Trae Young. I think Kansas rolls in this one. I think Trae Young will struggle out of the gate again. I think he'll find his shot as it progresses. Into the second half, he'll start to find his groove, but I think Kansas will put Oklahoma in a big enough hole where they can't really recover in the second half. And I'm going to say Oklahoma misses the tournament. I think a lot of people are saying that right now too. I don't think it's a mystery that they are on the outside looking in. But yeah, I think Oklahoma misses the tournament. Trae Young will not be in the big dance, which people are going to say it's bad for basketball or whatever, that Trae Young, one of the best players in the country, isn't in the tournament, but you've got to earn your spot in the tournament. I'm not just going to put you in because you had a good start to the year and then you faltered down the end. Last game of the night is in the SWAC. Texas Southern 8-18, 8-5, taking on Arkansas Pine Bluff, who have struggled lately. They had won 9 of 10 at one point. We're 9-1 conference play. They've now lost 4 straight games, are now 9-5, 2 games behind Grambling, who have the longest win streak in the country right now. Grambling, 11 wins in a row, 15-12 on the year. They're on a roll. Southern Jaguars are 9-5, tied with the Golden Lions of Arkansas Pine Bluff. You've got Texas Southern 2.5 games back at 8-5, still within striking distance. The SWAC is shaping up to have an exciting finish as well, with 8 teams within 5 games. There's 6 within 4 games. This is going to be exciting. And seems year in, year out, the SWAC has a team in the first 4 games in Dayton, which is fine. But I think any of those top 5 teams, Grambling, Southern, Arkansas Pine Bluff, Prairie View A&M, or Texas Southern, they can win their 16th seed play-in game and given 1 seed a run for a while. I don't think any of them can really beat a 1 seed in the tournament. This could be the year that happens. Who knows? But this is exciting. I'm excited to see how the SWAC plays out. But Arkansas Pine Bluff looking to get on the right track again, pick up their 10th conference win and 10th win of the season, while Texas Southern looking to take another step forward and really continue to climb up the standings and make a last-second run at the conference title. So we will see how that goes. But just quickly before we wrap up today's episode, the fan-voted College Court Report Awards, Player of the Year and Freshman of the Year, get underway next Monday, February 26th. We originally said they would start today, the 19th, but with the move and everything else, kind of got pushed to the back burner an extra week. The Player of the Year takes 96 of the best players from outside the power conferences in the country, we put them in a bracket format. They go head-to-head for your votes. 32 of those players get first-round buys, and those are players that we consider to be among the elite in the non-power conference world. So we drew them separate as well. We drew 2 names out of a hat for the regulars, then a third from the bye pile, and then those 2 first to go head-to-head in the first round. Then the next week, the winner faces that bye, and so on and so forth. Throughout this evening, Monday night, I'm going to release the bracket for the Player of the Year on social media, on Twitter, and then tomorrow, Tuesday, we're doing the freshman vote, the bracket. 64 of the best freshmen from outside the power conferences have been picked in the brackets, just like the NCAA tournament. So you have 16 per region, just at east, west, north, and south. No real direction applied to the players. They were all picked at random, so we went that way. And the freshman fan vote will end the Sunday before the national championship. The Player of the Year will end the week after the tournament finale. So we will tweet out the fields today and tomorrow for those 2 awards, build up some buzz, and get gearing up for the votes to start rolling in next Monday, the 26th, for both of the awards. We've had a huge success with this over the first 3 years. The University of North Dakota has won the last 2 Player of the Year awards, with Quentin Hooker winning it as a junior and as a senior. Marcus Thornton from the from William and Mary won the inaugural Player of the Year fan vote back in 2014, 2015. Last year's Freshman of the Year was Jayshon Augusto from LIU Brooklyn. And the year before that, the Freshman of the Year was none other than Wofford's Fletcher Magee. Magee is actually in this year's Player of the Year bracket, but for the rest of the other 95 names, be sure to follow us on Twitter throughout the day, CC_report for the full reveal of the bracket. But with that, that is Monday's President's Day / Family Day edition of the College Court Report podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Like I said, this is going to be a daily thing now, hosted by yours truly. You get to listen to this voice for half an hour, give or take a few minutes, each and every day. You're welcome. Lucky you. But feel free to hit that subscribe button if you enjoy what I have to say. And if you don't enjoy it, hit it anyways. Why not? You only live once, as the kids used to say, YOLO. But until tomorrow, thank you for tuning in. I will chat with you then. Enjoy Monday's small but intriguing slate of games, and we'll break it all down tomorrow and get you ready for Tuesday night's action. We'll talk to you then. Cheers.